Dialog Semiconductor guiding for the full year 2019 revenue and saying that it sees 2019 revenue broadly in line with 2018. It sees 2019 group underlying gross margin of 47 to 48%. Also sees the 2019 revenue up in the mid-teens percentage for unaffected businesses. I'm delighted to say that joining us now on set is Jalal Bagherli, the CEO of Dialog Semiconductor. Great to have you with us here, Jalal, and thank you so much for joining us. Now, what I want to start on, of course, is the fact that Apple is your biggest customer, and you recently sort of made this deal where you're providing 300 engineers from Dialog, among other things. What I want to ask is this actually going to make your business better? Do you have other customers that you are looking to now that you're not going to be supplying Apple in the same way?
Well, we are not going to supply Apple the same way, but we will continue to supply Apple, and it remains our largest customers going forward. So on the back of that deal and our quarterly revenue that we announced yesterday, which was a record, we are looking forward to a growing future. So we have increasing focus on Internet of Things, automotive, as well as the communication and computing markets. And we have a number of products in our pipeline for those new markets.
Jalal, we'll dig a little bit deeper into the pipeline in a moment, but the market wants to understand a little bit more from you. You talk about Dialog Semiconductor and Apple strengthening their partnership through technology licensing, etc., etc. Why didn't you just say you're selling the R&D division to Apple? I mean, is this a shotgun wedding?
So, because we are not. So we are transferring 300 of our very good experienced engineering talent to Apple, but it's a $600 million deal whereby we license our technology and we're not transferring products. The products remain with Dialog, so we're not transferring a running revenue and future revenue. It's purely to enable Apple to design their own core system, power management, and we remain as a supplier to develop the peripheral power management, audio and charging, which are new areas for us.
How does the relationship with Apple remain right now? Is it on just as good a footing as it was before this deal?
It's actually better than before, because now with this collaboration deal, they depend on our technology and support from us. So we have a much closer working relationship across the globe with them.
You've got to diversify the customer base. Where is your prime target? Do you want to do a deal? How do you do it? Because you've got a big challenge. So how are you going to do it? Organic, or are you going to go after some kind of a deal to build and repair the damage that's been done, perhaps reputationally here?
So we have a very talented team. We have a lot of IP that we've invested in the past 4 or 5 years. In addition, we got also customers already in Internet of Things using our, for example, Bluetooth technology, as well as in our areas for travel adapters. We're #1 in the world already. So we have a lot of business outside of what we do with Apple already. We're going to build on those. Of course, with the balance sheet that is very strong, particularly after closing of this deal, we have a lot of option to also have a look at the acquisition, and we have done a couple of acquisitions in the past, and we're going to build on those. There's a lot of opportunity for us to expand in the new areas.
Now, the shares have clearly recovered a little bit over the past month since the Apple announcement. They're still well below their 2017 peak, though, Jalal. Dialog doesn't seem to be a growth story anymore, so what kind of investment is it?
It is actually a growth investment, because we clearly separate the area of the business which we are licensing to Apple. The rest of the business, as we're indicating today in our Capital Market Day, is going to experience something like 15% growth over the next 4 years per year. So it's clearly going to be focusing on growth going forward. And of course, we have the license business with Apple that generates cash flow from us.
Jalal, you can't tempt Nera and I and say that you're possibly looking at deals and not expound upon it a little bit more. What kind of deals do you want to do? Come on, yeah, let's break a bit of news together, because you got a lot to do. Where are you looking? Are you looking at an auto type? Are you looking at a software type? Give us some idea about what kind of business you want to do a deal in.
Right. So we're going to look at these where it's complementary to our business, so it leverages our experience in terms of access to high volume.
No, I get
markets.
I get that, Jalal.
Right.
I would say you're not going to do a deal that's not good for you. I want to know where. I want to know where.
So, well, I mean, it could be anywhere, but I mean, typically in our industry, majority of the companies we can look at are in North America, and more increasingly now we can see also a number in Asia that we are interested in.
Okay, and in what businesses specifically? You've talked about Internet of Things,
right.
But for example, the automotive industrial business, right, is still very small, just
right.
2% of revenue. Would that be something where somewhere where you're looking to grow, and if so, how?
I think probably our opportunities are higher in Internet of Things and mobile than acquisitions in automotive, because typically automotive industry is typically has much larger companies rather than providing a lot of opportunities for tuck-in. So it's likely that it would be in the Internet of Things area or mobile area.
Jalal Bagherli, thank you so much for being with us this morning. That's the CEO of Dialog Semiconductors. Joining us for an exclusive interview.